Ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls, welcome. My name is Metal, the greatest mad showman under Earth, and this is the beginner's blender tutorial. This is actually something I've been requested multiple times and decided, sure, why not? So, without further to do, in the words of, good grief, that was Dee Dee from Dexter's Lab. What did she say? Without further to do, or something like that. Anyway, let's begin with the tab key. So, what you see in front of you when you open up Blender is going to be a cube, a camera, and a point light. So, what we're going to do is we want to switch to edit mode. Now, this box is highlighted when you open up Blender, but what you're going to want to do is if it's not highlighted, like this, you're going to click it and make sure it has that orange thing around it. So the first thing you're going to do, press the tab key. See the tab key? Awesome. You pressed it. Once you press it, it'll look like this. But we don't want this for this tutorial. Now if you go up here, right next to where it says edit mode, there's going to be three boxes. You have these three boxes. There's one that has a dot, a line, and a square in it. The third one, this one with the square, it says face select, has this drop down. Click that. And now the entire thing is highlighted. Well, we don't want all that highlighted. Bam. Click off somewhere, anywhere, left, right, here, here, here. I don't care. So, we want to highlight this by clicking it. You just left click it. It highlights it. It's on this green line if you want to follow along. You'll turn to the other side and you click the other side. Now, if you do that, this one disappears. So you click it again, obviously this goes away. So how do we fix that? It's called the shift key. If I hold down the shift key and I click, bam, now they're both good. So what I want to do on top of that, now I want to extrude these. Now extrusion is one of the most important things that you're going to learn in Blender. You're going to use it all the time. You're going to wear down your E key. I swear you will. So we want to do that. But if we press the E key, and start moving around, you get weird stuff like this. Now this can actually change depending on how you're angled sometimes. So you don't want to just press the E key. Again, it does that no matter what you do. So how do we want to do this? Well, first thing I want to do is go to your numpad. There is 3 keys you're going to want to know. 1, 3, and 7. 1, 3, and 7. But because we're on the things we highlighted on the y-axis, we're going to press 3. Nothing should be highlighted whatsoever. All right, cool. We're gonna do something very important. So the first thing I want you to do, lift your hand off your mouse. Don't touch your mouse. This is a particular technique of using the E key. All right. It's not the only way you can use it, but this is a very important way that I tend to like to use it. And you'll find this very, very useful. So first thing is you press E, then enter. And make sure you're not hitting your mouse when you do this, because if you hit your mouse when you do this, it's going to get weird. It's going to get all sorts of weird. But now that you've done this, a little thing will pop up at the bottom. This is extrude region and move. But you don't need to worry about this. Poof, it's gone. Okay, cool. So now we're going to learn, now that we've learned extrusion, and you're going to say, well, nothing happened. That's because you pressed the enter key. So you're good. You're good. Nothing's broken. Nothing is broken. I swear it's not. So we're going to press the S key. Now, when you do this and roll your mouse, it starts acting really weird. And it's like, okay, well, now what? Well, I'm going to start pressing keys. Now, if I press the Z key, it'll do this. If I press the X key, it will make no sense because we're on the Y axis. And if I press the Y key, which is what we really want, it starts pulling it out. But we want to be we want it to snap. We want it to be the sides here to be the exact same as the center. So what we're going to do is I'm going to press Control and hold it down as I'm pulling my mouse back and forth, which will snap onto those tiny little squares. And once I'm satisfied, I click, and that completes it. We good? Awesome. So you're looking at this and you're saying, okay, cool. So we've made a long bar. So now what? We're going to use the same technique as we did beforehand. And click this, Shift, click this, and now I'm going to press 1. I'm going to go E-Enter, Scale, and instead of pressing Y, I'm going to press X this time. Hold Control down, and done. So what do we have when we've got this done? Look at the top, we have a plus sign. So you've just made something actually quite useful. Plus signs are obviously useful for a lot of different things, everything from medical helmets to LRM things, fire LRMs from MechWarrior. In fact, I think it's either Cauldron Born or Bushwhacker that actually uses a build similar to this. So if you play MechWarrior, the old MechWarrior 3 from like the 1990s, back before they really went crazy with 3D modeling. So, however, we don't want it this thin. We want it to be tall, right? So I click this, I shift click this, and then I got no. We're not doing that. So what we're going to do, I'm going to teach you another fun technique as I stutter to death. I'm going to hold down Control. All right. Click this. Create something called shortest path. Now, granted, I'm going to show you it in a very simple way. I'm going to click on this, hold Control down, and then click this, and it creates a path. It highlights everything along that path. And this is one of the most important things you're going to learn, because it's going to save you so much. And now I'm just going to shift, click these two, be done with it. Not a problem. So now I've controlled all of this. So the big question that we've got now is we want to pull it up. There are 2 ways of doing this. And these are the last 2 things I'm going to teach for this tutorial right now. And that is, you can either A, go a simple route and press G, which does this. And this is the first one I'm going to teach you. So it's G. G lets you do this. You can wobble around all over the place. And you now can do something really cool. Remember last time when I had you press the X, Y, and Z keys? Well, those coordinate to, if you haven't guessed already, the X, Y, and Z planes. Well, we need to control the Z, vertical. This is vertical. Z is vertical, all right? Z is always vertical. So I want it to be around here. I'm going to press the Control just so that I have complete... not making that pun. Whatever. Not making that pun. It's not a pun. Shut up. So, now that we've pulled it up, we now have it tall like we want, right? And I've used the Control key to let me go ahead and snap it. So, now it's snapped, and that's very useful if you're going by trying to get things to fit in each other and stuff like that. Now, I use the X, Y, and Z keys. In this case, I use the Z key. Now, there's another way I can do this, and that is using the move. Select over here. You can do this in edit mode, and there's a bunch of ways you can use this, and you can experiment with it later. Obviously, the red is X, green is Y, blue is Z. All right. You also have controls for controlling X, Y, I believe that's Y, Z, and that's X, Z. It's really weird. But yeah, those little cube bits are very useful. They're really nice. And you can do all sorts of cool stuff. But I can do this. Again, holding Control, I can bring it up. And now we have a completed 100% done modeled missile rack. Yay! So now you can stick it on your mechs. Or if you want to make it super thin, not scaled, you can make it super thin. Now you can stick it on a medkit or something. So I could say, for example, make a medkit, whatever. But that is going to be probably for another tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do like what I've made so far, let me know down in the description below. This is my first attempt at one of these, So it's probably going to be a slightly bit rough. Probably not as full of goofy nonsense. But I really wanted to do something that was really quick, really easy to put together in terms of like being able to listen to it. So something that's not super complicated, like what a lot of people see. I get a lot of responses that other tutorialers or whatever term you use for them, they're just like, oh man, something about my dog, and they're like, I just want to learn how to use scaling. So that's what I attempted this time was to, or attempted, I should say, to be more accurate, what I attempted with this tutorial. I really wanted to sit down and just grind through it, and be able to go, this is how you do this, this is how you do this, this is how you do this. So hopefully I've succeeded on that to some degree. I'm going to go throw this in to edit it now. So again, if you like what I do here, subscribe or just bookmark me or whatever you want to do. I greatly appreciate it. The more you subscribe, the more you share it with your buddies, the more YouTube or whatever place I throw this on goes, hey, this guy's interesting. And then it just means I can make more cool tutorials. I can refine the tutorials, make them a lot easier. If there's a I can talk today. No, I can't. Yes, I can. Anyway, so if there's a dang nabbit, if there's a tutorial you want me to do, Entropy, take that out. I swear if you don't. Go ahead, let me know what tutorial you'd like, and I can try to make a tutorial based on that. I know some people want to learn atlasing and stuff like that in a way that's not crazy. I've seen atlasing tutorials, and ooh boy, they can be a lot more complicated than they need to be. They really are more complicated than they need to be for just learning basic atlasing. And I do want to teach like different atlasing types and stuff like that if I can come up with a quick and simple way of doing that. So anyway, thank you again so much for watching. I know I'm rambling on. I've been rambling on for, I don't know, 3 minutes. So 3, 5, whatever. 3, 4, 5. I have like the count. 3 minutes been rambling. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Edit me. Fade to black. No, don't just cut it out. Fade to black.